Good evening and welcome to News Channel 8. I'm Jerome Aegean. And here's some of the top stories we have for you tonight. The governor responds to the Senate's proposal to save jobs. A St. Croix cop is arrested for domestic violence. And Richard White Jr. signs with the Seattle Mariners. These stories and more up next on News Channel 8. Our top story tonight, Governor John DeYoung has responded to the 29th Legislature's proposal to save Virgin Islands government jobs. Let's take a look.
The last several weeks has been very difficult for our community, particularly once the Senate and I had our meetings last week, Tuesday. But I think that the action that they took, this interim step that they took yesterday with the passage of the bill, I think is an initial step towards resolving the budgetary shortfall we have, and also sets us in a position to address fiscal year 2012. I think the combination of the salary cuts and some of the initiatives in the bill will at least get us past this last quarter. It gives the incentives, one, that we can reduce the salaries, and at the same time offers incentives towards retirees. And as a result of that, I think in the short term that we will not have to do the dismissals. The most important part, however, is that we have to keep in mind that we still have a budget deficit, a budget gap that has to be filled going into fiscal year 12. And we also have to be mindful of fiscal year 13 and 14, that we need to have some level of stability going forward. And the only way we're going to get there is quite frankly through the serious step that the Senate took this week and working together to be able to do that. Over the next 2 months, members of my administration, the commissioners and directors, will go down, they will have discussions, they will respond to many of the questions that the senators have as they look at their budgets. And I myself will be personally involved with the leadership of the Senate to make sure that we address these situations and we address these shortfalls, because at some point, we have to move from the near term and start looking at the long term.
And in other news tonight, a St. Croix police sergeant has been arrested for domestic violence charges. Here's Melody Rames with more.
Police on St. Croix arrested 53-year-old Edgar Ortiz of Estate Mount Pleasant and charged him with aggravated assault and battery domestic violence, following a complaint filed by his live-in girlfriend, who stated that Ortiz grabbed her around her neck and attempted to strangle her during an altercation at their home. Ortiz is a veteran Virgin Islands police sergeant and has been placed on leave without pay immediately following the arrest. The victim told police that she and Ortiz were involved in an argument that turned physical around 4 p.m. on Wednesday, June 22nd. During the assault, the victim said Ortiz grabbed her around the neck and began choking her. She said that she grabbed several household items within reach and hit him in an attempt to make him let go. However, Ortiz grabbed the objects and flung them away. One of the objects cut her on her leg after being tossed by Ortiz. The victim had visible scratches and bruises on her face, neck, and leg. She refused medical treatment. Ortiz appeared at his advisor of rights hearing on Thursday morning and was charged with an additional charge of assault second-degree domestic violence. He was then released by Superior Court Magistrate Miguel Camacho pending his arraignment.
Thank Melody Rames, Information Officer of the Virgin Islands Police Department. And Crucian-born Richard White Jr. has made it official. Yesterday, the star baseball pitcher signed with the Seattle Mariners. Let's take a look.
I'd like to welcome all of you here on this special occasion. We're here this afternoon to witness the signing of Richard White Jr., better known as Pookie, where he's getting ready to sign up with the Seattle Mariners. So right now we have the scout director, he's here, and they're gonna officially do the signing. His mom, Mercedes White, and also his dad, police officer Richard White. And on the right-hand side is the scout, Carlos. And now they're doing the official welcome.
Put your hat out. Round of applause. Well, first, I'd like to thank God for bringing me this far in life. I'd like to thank my parents for being there for me.
and guiding me to the right path. I thank my coach, Eugene Thomas, for showing me the game of baseball and putting me where I am today. And I'd like to thank Noel Sevilla for being here with me today as my scout and, bringing me here today and getting signed to the Seattle Mariners.
Well, first of all, I'm very happy because Richard White's a guy that we liked him from the beginning. In the scouting lingo, he was a slipper. It's a guy that a lot of scouts from other organizations really were not heavy on him in the sense of recognizing the talent. But we recognize his physical ability, more important, the desire to compete and be the best out there. That's one thing that really, as a scout, it struck me, and we stuck with him, and we made it happen. We selected him, and that was one of the best choices.
And congratulations to Richard White Jr. Make us all proud and represent the Virgin Islands. When we come back from this break, we'll take a look at some local artists. Stay with us on Channel 8.